Broncos country, would you believe it, man? Would you believe it? The Broncos are now 4-0 when they go into games trailing in the fourth quarter. I don't know if our hearts can take this anymore, Jeremy, but the Broncos get a massive win, 18-15 in Houston. Just about as gutsy of a game as you could imagine. So amazing, man. 6 in a row for this team now. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I'm going to keep saying it forever. Like Mike Shanahan used to always say, it's to beat a good football team, to not play your best, but still figure out a way to win the game. That is the sign of a good football team. And that is what we have done over and over this year. And, that was an ugly game by a lot of stretch. There's injuries. We're overcoming PS2. They had injuries. It was just a slugfest, a rock fight on the road, early game. There's a lot. The officiating was freaking awful as usual. And just figuring it out. You just got to figure out a way to win. And you got to be gritty. And that's a gritty win. And you're going to look back at that one and be like, I'm glad we needed that one,
Yeah. No, man, there's been a lot of those. And it seems like for whatever reason, this team kind of figures out how to make the plays necessary. I thought the defense was dominating. Obviously, CJ Stroud going out was helpful, but I mean, regardless, I just felt like they were crushing it. They had huge goal line stops early in the game.
That was huge.
Huge. And I mean, as much as I want to sit there and blame this, because the special teams was absolutely horrendous. I can't even begin to explain how bad this special teams get. Arguably the worst one that we've had yet this season. But it ended up really being Crawshaw, man.
That's what I was going to say, but the best player was on special teams.
That flips the whole game. I mean, when he flipped the field,
yes,
and it was finally allowing for our defense, like when they get stops, we can set the offense up decently. That's when I feel like everything flipped. I mean, 270-yard bombers. So very, very impressive performance there. So in a way, one special teams player was good. Obviously, Will Lutz puts it away too. But man, the Broncos, can they keep overcoming this, or was this just one of those like you knew it was going to be a gutsy type of game? And how do you even assess this team?
Well, you're always constantly looking for identity. Yeah, it was a good game. Man, either both teams were going to be devastated, whoever lost that game, and both teams, whoever won the game was going to be elated that they got it. So that's just how it goes. But that game, this is becoming our identity. Our identity is now we feel more confident than ever in the fourth quarter. And you saw what happened at the end of the third quarter. We started doing that drive that starts in the end of the third quarter, bleeds into the fourth. We're down going into the fourth, and they just turn it on, and they just are like, okay, now is the time when we execute and we don't make the mistakes that we've been making all game long. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to complain too much because it's like I would much rather have that than the other way, where if you played good and then you blow it. But yeah, they just figured out they have some. It's a mental toughness and it's a mindset of like no game's out of reach, and we're going to make the plays that end up winning the game eventually. And even in this game was there was like an extra possession of each team that, when we had the ball like 2 minutes left and I hated the play calls that we did. We didn't even try to get to the 40-yard line. And we just kind of like, we're like, this is good enough. And then we, Bo missed a throw backside where he was running, which is like, you shouldn't even probably throw that anyways. But like, there's something open. Somebody was hot that he missed. And at that point you're like, ooh, normally this is the time when we win the game, and we didn't, and we're punting. But the defense again stepped up. Zach Allen steps in, makes a big play on third down, punting again. And now we're back to the same position. And Bo Nix scrambles for that huge run that puts us into field goal range. And now it's just, people are going to look back at this game and be like, why didn't you run J.K. Dobbins more? It was working to start the game, and then you went away from it. Obviously, the screen passes weren't working. Bo Nix was having a hard time. He made some big throws for touchdowns, but then there was also some questionable, like almost pick throws or a pick throw. So it was shaky. Their defense is legit, 100%. That's what I've learned. Like
Very good.
you got to see back to back what horrible defense is with the Cowboys, and then you move a little bit, west in Texas, or I'm sorry, you go a little east in Texas to Houston, and you see what a really good defense looks like, and it was a struggle. They have given up, under 15 points a game, and when we got to 15, I was like, well, we've actually accomplished more than their average. So if we can just get any more than this, we're actually doing all right. And we got the field goal to cap it, and that's it.
No, man, it was crazy. It's almost like you can pinpoint a part of the game where it's almost like one little play that doesn't seem like it's a big deal that makes the offense really click. And today it was the one where it was like a just an in rhythm throw, I think on first down to Troy Franklin on an out route. It's almost like that was like, all right, let's kind of jump this going. And then they were able to pop off a couple of runs. They were able to get some things going behind the line of scrimmage. And then all of a sudden the offense is getting a little bit of momentum. But it was wild. Like, I feel like a lot of people are going to be on Sean Payton today, maybe, for some of the play calls. I will tell you, I was paying very close attention to it. I thought Sean Payton actually called very, very good plays today at the right times. We had guys open. There was times where Bo was missing them. Guys were open all across the field. I felt like there was maybe a couple times where it was like you're taking a shot play, but I didn't like when in the game he took a shot play. But in general, man, I thought he was dialing things up the right way, whether it was drops that hurt us or Bo missing or whatever. But I had no problems overall with the play calling. But I'll tell you what, man, like, Pat Bryant is going to turn into something really special for this team.
100%.
He reminds me so much of Tim Patrick when he was getting started in his career. He would always make the clutch throws. I remember it was a third and 8, and we were driving to go and try to tie the game, like get it within a field goal. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, if I was going to call a play right now, I'd go to Pat Bryant across the middle. I think they're going to double up Sutton. And what do you know? He makes a big play. And then earlier he has a great catch, stretches for the first down. Man, it's just those little things. Like, I just feel like he's going to be such a special player. And then to cap it off with RJ Harvey again on a beautiful design play for the touchdown. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man.
He got the defense to kind of set their feet, and then he flew right by him, and he stumbled his way, and it was good. Bo didn't try. He's short, so Bo didn't try to overthrow him, like lead him. They just I'm just going to stick it on him. If he has to slow down, he has to slow down, and he did, and that was perfect. But no, I agree with you. Pat Bryant, and that's why I've compared him to Rod Smith. It's his awareness of where he's at on the field that makes him elite. That's the thing. He catches it and knows, oh, I still need to get 2, and I'm going to go get it. Most of those guys catch it and protect the ball and then get tackled a yard short. And then you're like, well, we're punting. Pat Bryant, he's like, I have to get this 2. I'm going to stretch out and get it. He's sure-handed. He does the dirty stuff. He's going to be an absolute beast. He doesn't look like Rod Smith's body type, but he plays mentality-wise like Rod Smith.
Totally.
And Tim Patrick's body, he looks like Tim Patrick's body and Rod Smith's mentality, and it's perfect. It's exactly what this team needs, especially when you're down Marvin Mims. You need somebody. Troy Franklin had a up and down game. He had some ones where you're just like, come on, Troy. And then there's other ones, and he's little. So it's like, you can't expect him to be like breaking through a bunch of tackles, all that kind of thing. But, he played a gritty game. Like he was making tough catches in there, but like, you need the Pat Bryants when Cortland's getting double teamed and trying to get taken out of the game to step up and make those tough ones.
He has some drops today too.
Yeah.
And it was like, we need somebody to step up, and he was right there. Man, I loved what Pat Bryant did. I thought Zach Allen was a one-man wrecking crew. I thought Talanoa Hufanga was a one-man wrecking. I mean, those two guys just get chills thinking about it. Every single down, they were just dominating. In a game that felt like it went on forever. But something about Bo Nix in the fourth. Like, I don't know where this came from, but this like light bulb goes off.
It's clutch.
He just becomes different. I'll even tell you, I think on the long run, I can't say I'm 100% sure, but I'm very, very confident that was a designed run, because they did so many of the getting him out of the pocket and move everybody over. So it's almost like he drifts over, fakes like he's going to run, and then it just decisively took off. I almost felt like they designed it to be like that.
Yeah. And if they didn't, they said, if it's not there, this one, whatever is going to the right, you should have a lane to the left and run. And I was yelling at the TV all game, like, run, Bo, run, like run. When he runs, good things happen. Now, the flip side of that is look what happens when CJ Stroud ran and he got tackled because he slid a little bit late. And, the fact that they called that a penalty, I mean, it was like, I was out of my mind for like for a minute there. And then they picked it up. I was like, yeah, he wasn't even down yet. But like, that's the danger of running. So you have to be very careful when and where. But at the same time, like when you absolutely positively need somebody to make a play, Bo Nix is like game. You know what I mean? He's a gamer. He's that guy. We've seen people who are my age and older. We've seen it before. And it's John Elway. That's who did it. That's what used to always happen all the time. We would run it and play conservatively, tough defense. And then when it came to the fourth quarter and you're down, John, go win it for us. Go make some plays. And that's kind of what's been happening this season.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and happy to see that CJ was okay, man. It's always terrifying.
Yeah.
To see those kind of hits. I did think it was a super clean hit. I thought Chris Abrams-Draine did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you hate to see it. Glad that he was good because I know he looked like he was out for a little bit, but
yeah,
the fact that he's able to walk off is obviously huge.
He's
for
guy.
him. But he is very, very good dude. Yeah. I like his game a lot. And my thing, man, is like I noticed with Bo, like one thing he did a lot last year that I actually liked and a lot of people gave him a slack for was he wouldn't mind at all like taking what's there.
Yep.
Taking a dump off for 2 yards, taking the check down. And at times this year, it's like he's doing the opposite. He's trying so hard to like want to stretch the field, which I can appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
But at the times in the game, like I feel like later in the game, he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take whatever's like, I'm gonna take the dump off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he's so much better. It's like he's got to be okay with taking a couple yards, live to play another down. And when he started to do that in this game, I was like, all right, like he's starting to get into a little bit more of a rhythm because now it was almost like he was trying to go for the shot play. If it wasn't there, he'd either like throw it away or like, throw it in the vicinity of him, or like it seems like he was trying to force it. So, just like seeing him kind of get back into the groove of it. But overall, man, I mean, it's crazy. We keep thinking like, can the Broncos keep living like this? Can the Broncos keep winning like this? Well, they keep doing it, but there's obviously still so much that needs to be cleaned up. And I think it really starts with special teams.
Yeah, that's got to be the first thing they address for sure.
And what is it? I mean, do you think it's just like eventually Rizzy's gonna get it figured out because he's been doing it for so long, or is it just like we need an overhaul in terms of like who's on the kick coverage or units and stuff like that? Because it's driving me crazy, and it should not be very difficult.
Well, the two major blunders today were the blocked field goal, and that was on Quinn Miners for he got too low and letting the guy slide past him.
Yeah.
And if I'm guessing, I have no idea. If I'm guessing, Quinn Miners is an elite guard. And when it comes to special teams and they ask him to go in there, he's probably going into auto mode a little bit. And there's no let up. If you're out there, you have to make the play. You have to be on your P's and Q's. This team is not disciplined. We lead the league in penalties. We lead and this special teams is also the same exact way. We are not like buckling down on the details enough. And you got to just stress it and stress it and stress it and stress it because there's just little things that keep making mistakes. There was that one. And then the Bandy one, he has no business trying to field that. I get it. It's so tough for a guy to come off the practice squad to now you're thrown in there and be like, hey, can you go make this like really big play? And like, you just got to be smart. I know he wants to make a play, especially if you're like, you've worked your entire life to get to the point where you're like on the cusp of the NFL. Like you're in the NFL, but you're not in the NFL, but you're in the NFL, but you're not in the NFL.
I know.
And he wants to make a play. He wants to. And you just have to be disciplined to be about like, nope, I got to be smart with this one. Don't try to go make something happen. Like get away from that ball. That one's too tough. And, I understand it, but it's just like, that's where Rizzy needs to be like, dude, I need you, but you have to be smart. You have to be smart.
Yeah. And I was deathly worried about that position like all week. I think I talked about it on every video that I made because the thing about it is, man, like Michael Bandy's never returned a punt in the NFL. Ever.
Wow.
And I know he did it a lot in college, and I'm sure he's done it in preseason. I'm sure he's done it in preseason. He didn't do it this year in preseason. and he's always done kick returns, but it was just weird. It was like, okay, we don't really have anybody on this team that's actually returned punts in the NFL like during a regular season game. None. I think the only one was Riley Moss last week when he had a fair catch. That was it. So it was very weird. But I mean, other than that blunder, I thought he was pretty solid. You know, he kind of did his job, and I like him a lot on offense. Like, I know he had one catch, but something about the way and I don't know if it's because he's wearing 83 and he reminds me of Wes Welker, but he's a completely different receiver than what we have on our team. Like you can tell he's got the short area quickness kind of get open. Unfortunately, I just don't think there's a lot of like room for him on the active roster, but I kind of dig what he can bring. I was kind of hoping that they would use him a little bit more.
I like him as when I'm like, okay, if Mims goes out, he's a nice like replacement player. Cause he doesn't have the juice like Mims does, but like, that's not a bad place to be like, to be shifty. Like if you have to go to your backup and it's a guy coming out of the practice squad, that guy can play.
Yeah.
100%. He can catch. He runs really good routes and he can get open. He's not going to do like amazing things after the catch. Like he's just going to go up the field and get what he can get, which is fine. But for this team,
I feel like that's what we could use.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's almost like I haven't really seen like Trent Sherfield's, you know, like value on special teams. I mean, I'll take everyone's word for it that he's good at that. But like, I almost like from an offensive standpoint what Bandy brings over what Sherfield does. I feel like Sherfield's just kind of out there to block all the time, which I know is really important. But I don't know. It might be a conversation worth having. But otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, I thought it was really impressive.
Yeah.
Another player I wanted to shout out big time again for like I think every game this season I've given him kudos is Garrett Bowles, bro.
Yeah.
I was watching him so intently this game, whether it was Daniil Hunter or Will Anderson.
Yep.
He was just unbelievable. Always on an island. They never gave him any help, and he was just tough as nails. I thought he was so good.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Jackson and I agree. That's exactly where I compared him to as well. No, I mean, he's underrated, unsung. I mean, he's going to go down as one of those players that probably makes the Ring of Fame just because it's like he's been on the team for so long and he's been really good for so long. And he's just kind of an afterthought, but like, even when he was struggling and getting the holding calls, he was averaging like one holding call a game, but he was not letting anybody hit the quarterback. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll take that all day long. I remember like the turnstiles we used to have at the tackle position. And it's like, just I'll put a guy like that in there that just at least protects your quarterback. And no, he's just gotten better and better. And he's Mr. Bronco when it comes to like just the love that he has for like the team and the city. So yeah, no, he's one of those people that doesn't get his just due for sure.
Yeah, no, man, I really think he's having a Pro Bowl caliber, all pro caliber year. Screw the Pro Bowl. Like he's been so good for this team overall. But yeah, man, Broncos got a quick turnaround. You know, we got a big divisional game against the Raiders. Obviously a game that everybody in Broncos country feels like we should absolutely win. But again, divisional games, they're really, really scary. But I mean, how do you assess this team, right? Like, let's talk about them, playoffs, being contenders, all of that. Like, where do you see them? Are they a true contending football team right now for you?
Yes. Because you're 7-2 and you haven't played great. So like, that's what's so exciting about it. Like you're a really good football team, but you have the ability to like become a great football team with just cleaning things up and just evolving a little bit more on offense. And you know, that to me, that is like the most exciting thing. So I always say like, you're going to win some games you shouldn't win, and you're going to lose some games you shouldn't lose. And that's what this game kind of was feeling like for a lot of it. But like, it's that gamer and grit and that mental toughness that when it comes to the fourth quarter and goes, I'm not going to let us lose. Like that is where the eliteness comes in, and people underrate that. People want to blow everybody out and people want to be like, this is easy. People want to do this. Thank you, David, for stopping in, brother. But like, it's the little it's the mentality of the football team that is what makes this team so good. That you should have lost this game. You should have lost the Jets game. You should have lost a bunch of some other games.
The Philly
And
game.
yeah, like
The Giants
the
game.
Giants game, you know what I mean? Like it was a mindset of just being like, I am not going to allow us to lose this game and we're going to find a way. Some teams, like, it's rare for a football team to have a full team belief. Even like back in that Tebow year, like they believed when the fourth quarter happened, what something can happen. And I don't know what it is up in the, air, what it is. I don't know what's going on, but they believed that. And that carried them to be a bad football team to a pretty good football team that made the playoffs and won a playoff game. So like you need that first of all, but special teams needs to get cleaned up. Offense needs to get more consistent. There's a lot of young players. There's like injuries are going to happen. But if you can evolve and just get a little bit better every week, by the time the playoffs come, then you can, if you get hot at the end of the year, because I mean, this team's won 6 in a row and I don't feel like they're hot.
No.
They're hot in the fourth quarter, but they're not a hot football team.
Exactly.
So if you can get that, now you can really cook.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. That's kind of how I feel. Like I feel like we're a really good team. And when you have a very good defense, you have the ability to run the ball. It's going to keep you in a lot of games. But and you look at these fourth quarter comebacks, and obviously it's amazing. And you're like, yeah, this team, it seems like they're prepping themselves, or they're able to put themselves in these positions to where like once they get into the playoffs and it's close games, they could win those kind of games. But you cannot keep living like that, right? It's like it's not a sustainable thing, because all of a sudden the playoffs do start and it is down, and it might not go your way one time, and it might happen at the most important part of the game. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I feel like this team can certainly be a contender, and I think we're just like hitting our stride a little bit as a team overall. But you see it, and this is such a good litmus test game, and it was so good to see like such a contrasting opponent than what you saw last week, right? Like last week, he was arguably the worst defense in the NFL. And then this week, it was the best defense in the NFL. So you learn so much from those, and to be able to learn from those and win is massively important. So I thought it was great. I thought the secondary, Chris Abrams-Drain, Barron, Riley Moss, I thought they all played super well in the absence of PS2. So that was sweet. And having Dre Greenlaw back was awesome, man. Talk about someone that like completely was responsible for that goal line stand early in the game.
Yep.
He just blew up every run play.
No, 100%.
It was crazy.
Dude, like this game was before Stroud went out. This game could have got away from us, and we would have had to pull off another miraculous comeback. The fact that we held them to 2 field goals and then they missed that one field goal too. Like that, if those end up being touchdowns instead of field goals, like we're in the hole, like way in the hole. And now because you made those plays, because the defense was such a stout defense, they were able to, within one drive, take back the lead instead of having to like get 3 drives to like get back. You know what I mean? The Giants, we had to come way back. But this game, it was like, we're not going to allow like touchdowns to be scored on us. And when Stroud went out, then it was really like, we're not going to let touchdowns. And that's when the field position was so big. Like you said, I honestly do feel like Crawshaw was secretly the MVP of this game, or one of the MVPs of this game, especially for sure on the special teams and offense, because the reason they were scoring and taking little bit leads and little chunks is because they kept having great field position. We weren't doing good on coverage, and they were ending up starting position was so good. And then we've seen this over and over this season. So like, once he started flipping it, I think almost like Crawshaw was like, screw this. I'm not even going to allow returns. I'm just going to kick it so freaking far and sometimes out of bounds. They can't even return it. And he took it upon himself, and once they had to deal from inside the 20, as opposed to being at like the 35, 40, 45, it totally like they didn't score off those drives, because they might be able to get a first down or 2, but that was it. And those end up being punts instead of field goals. And then now you're back in it. That was a huge touchdown for us to get to within 2. And then when we got the 2-point conversion, I almost felt like the Houston body language was like, I think we might lose now.
Yeah.
And You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
could kind of
totally.
sense it. Like
Yeah.
their offense really was like, I don't know now. We
Yeah.
lost the
Well, I
lead.
mean, I really feel like our special teams gifted them 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
And so once that field flipped with, with those crazy cross-shot boots, it was like, even me, I was like, they're not going to score unless we get some
Yeah.
stupid penalty, because penalties have really been like our biggest Achilles. And we only had 4 today. Unless we have some stupid penalty, like I was like, I don't see how they're scoring, but I was definitely at one point worried that can the Broncos score enough, right?
Yeah.
But again, like you said, when they got the 2-point conversion, we might be the best 2-point conversion team in the NFL, man.
4 for
Like
5.
our 2-point conversions have been pretty damn ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, exactly
That's
right.
the
It was just the small things, the details today really made the biggest difference. We lost the time of possession battle. We lost the turnover battle, but it was just being able to, keep grinding it out, keep getting stops, and then eventually, you hit a couple of the big plays, and then boom, you're right back in it. So
Yeah.
that's the luxury of having such a good defense, man.
Yep.
Is it allows you those opportunities to grind games out like this.
Yeah,
Huge.
and I mean, you have to realize this is a young football team overall and a very young offense. So you need the defense to step up while the offense is like figuring out how. It was one thing to be blowing up the Cowboys. It looked like I could have blown up the Cowboys.
Mhm.
Like it was so bad. And it was almost so to the fact I was rewatching that. I was thinking like, oh God, if they start thinking like this is normal, like, cause it isn't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like going to like a strip club and being like, all these ladies love me. I'm like,
Yeah,
the man.
exactly.
Like,
they don't love you.
yeah, no, it's like,
Spoiler alert.
yeah. When you're paying, they love you. But
Yeah.
like, that's what it felt like. It was like Texans are going to give you nothing easy, nothing. So like, and when you get the lead taken away from you, or when you're coming from behind, it's going to be so much more difficult against a team like that. But to be able to do it against that defense should give you a lot of confidence as well, because it's typically not going to be as hard against other teams. So you had to. It was a real splash of cold water going from the Cowboys to the Texans, but again, the mentality and the grittiness of these guys, even though they're young, they have a belief in themselves that they're going to figure out a way to win the football game. And that was the 2-point conversions tell you a lot, because those are half 2 plays. You you get one shot at it and that's it. And to be 4 for 5 on 2-point conversions, and a lot of those 2-point conversions were like, you absolutely need them. I think the one we didn't get was one we didn't need. It was just kind of like a luxury one, because it was last week when we could have gone up 21-10 instead of, so it was like,
stupid decision. Yep.
Yeah. And so it was like, that's tells you a lot about the team, is they thrive the best when they have to do it. And that just tells you like they have that ability. Like most teams don't have the ability to make it happen when they absolutely have to. Not to mention like the grit and the willpower and like the mental toughness to make it happen. But like when this team is like, okay, we can't lose. We're not going to lose. We got to make them play. Somebody's going to make it. Bo's going to make it. Pat made it today. Troy made 2-point conversion. Like all kinds of stuff has to happen. And that's when they lock in. So that's why we should be super excited. Now we're week 9. Hopefully we can continue to get better and better and better. And by the if we're exactly where we're at right now, when it comes to week 17 going into the playoffs, it probably is not going to be good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we can get a little bit better every single week, by the time we get to week 17, and we have that confidence of doing it so many times, if we're in a tight position in a playoff game, we're going to have the belief of like, we've done this all year. This is who we are. This is what we do. And we're going to make the play, So
and I feel like, dude, there's been so many strides made. I mean, people, you do have to take into account that it was a really, really tough defense, but the pre-snap penalties and all that really seem to be cleaning up. I felt like Bo's mechanics have been more consistent, but still not as good. The run game's been really good once we've actually committed to it. Like I see a lot of improvement from the first couple parts of this year.
Definitely.
It's just almost like this team is either in a rhythm, and when they're in a rhythm, they're really good, or they're just absolutely just confusing to watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix of those two, but I loved what I saw, and And yeah, just like when we talked about this earlier too, David, like what I liked about it was you felt like even without Mims, yes, there was misses and yes, there was drops, but there was guys open.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big kudos to not just Sean Payton calling plays, but also the talent that we have on this team. I mean, I feel like Pat Bryan is so capable of creating separation. Obviously, we know Sutton is. Franklin is one of the best creation separators. So like that's all there, and those are all little positive things that you can hang your hat on as well.
Yeah. The
So
last
it was awesome.
the last thing that I'll say about Bo Nix is he didn't look comfortable today. There was something kind of off. There was just the way that he felt a little rushed, or he felt like he was just missing guys, or I think he was like, felt like he was, they even said on the broadcast, like he was sped up a little bit. Like he was like, oh shoot, I don't have a lot of time just to sit back and kind of diagnose. I have to kick this ball out, which is good. But like at the same time, it's like, what is the underrated thing about Bo Nix is he can make a mistake and then forget about it in 2 seconds. And most people cannot do that. Riley's really good at that. Like the memory of a goldfish type of thing, where it's like, I'm going to overthrow Evan Ingram on what was probably going to be a touchdown. And now you're like, oh my gosh, you just missed it. And then the next play, Sean has the confidence, Bo has the confidence to go right back to the same side, hit Cortland Sutton in the corner on their elite corner.
Stingley,
Stingley, drop it right in the bucket, and it's like that play right before happened. Didn't even happen. So that's the thing that people will underrate about him. They'll be like, oh, he missed these passes. Yes, he did. But the response to adversity shows who you are, not just the good or bad.
Yeah, and the ironic part is that on the interception that Bo threw, I felt like it was because he was trying to slow down too much. That was the ironic part, because that's an open throw. He tries to put air under it. Maybe he's thinking, I just don't want to overthrow my guy. He drills that thing. It's an easy completion. But then again, you see him. He stays calm on that touchdown pass to RJ Harvey. He was read number 4. I saw Bo go left, and then he went like a little bit more to the right, middle of the field, and then turned around, dumped it off. It was a beautiful thing to see. It's like we just got to see that more, because there's those phantom climbs that he still does. Those times where he really he looks to bail out of the pocket a little bit too early, but then you see brilliant plays and you're just like, bro, you know the talent is there. It's just about honing everything in, and those things takes a long time, man. Yeah, Josh Allen wasn't even a good quarterback until his 3rd year. So there's and Sean Payton puts a lot on his plate, no doubt about it. But
yes, and not to mention all of us who are in the media just being like, he's the best, he's the worst, he's struggling, he's not struggling. Like we just overdo the Bo Nix stuff instead of just letting him like grow on his own. It's like, is he the best of the class? Is he the worst is he this? Can he do this? I don't know if I try. Like, it's just too much. Like that's the business, but like, just don't listen to that. The stat that says everything to me was the graphic that they put up during the game where they showed John Elway's like first 25 games versus Bo Nix 25 games, had the exact same record. Bo threw for 1,000 more yards and like 300 or 400 more rushing yards. And it's like, that's John freaking Elway, dude. Like, I understand it's a different era, but like, you have to like, we have the guy. So like, he just needs to hone in when and where he's going to drill somebody, or he's going to float somebody. Those are the things that is where he's at. But like, the diagnosis for a Sean Payton offense is like advanced calculus. You know what I mean? And it's like, you just gotta like, it's going to get better. And then to have that ace in the hole of like, you can just run it if you need to, and he's crazy good at running it. Like, that won you the game. We could not get chunk plays in that 4th quarter, really, at the very end of the 4th quarter. And then Bo scrambles and then sees it wide open and just takes off. And maybe that was designed, maybe that wasn't. If it's designed, that was brilliant. If it's not designed, that's just also brilliant of like understanding the situation and not forcing something. And as soon as he had that run, like Dobbins gets another big run after that, gets another 9. And it felt like the Texans were just like, well, that's it.
Yeah. He kind of took the soul out of him, which is that's always nice to see with your run game. I thought we were running it really good early, and then a lot of people will bash Sean for getting away from it, but And I was like going to get there. And then I realized there was like 2 possessions where you didn't have the luxury of actually running the ball. Like you kind of were in 4-minute offense twice. And then in the third quarter, he would run the ball first down and second down. And before you know it was 3rd and 12. So it was like, you got to pick and choose the spots to be able to do it. But yeah, I mean, on the Bo Nix scrambles, I thought they were huge. And dude, there's so many factors to this. Like we don't know. First of all, we don't know if that was designed. Secondly, it could have been like Sean telling Bo, listen, look for one read. If that's not open, take off. Or it could have been that earlier in the game, Bo wasn't running when he should have ran.
Yeah.
But on purpose to set up being able to run later. I mean, you don't know. Like, dude, Sean Payton said something in the post game in the post practice presser on go baby, come on Bills. It was after Friday.
Okay.
And he said he was talking about a situation when they were in New Orleans and Younghoe Koo was the kicker for the Falcons. And what he noticed on film is that every single time a coach tried to ice him, he would purposely pull the kick. Right? So he was like, I had a thing planned to where I was going to fake like I was calling a timeout in hopes to get him to pull it. He's like, we never got the opportunity to do it, but so it's just like, dude, they're so detailed. Like there's so many details that these coaches talk about that we have not a slightest idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, you don't know, but all I do know is it's working out, man. And there's something going on. And I love to see Bo Nix turn into freaking John Elway in the fourth, because he has been. It's been fun to watch, man.
You know what it feels like? It feels like sometimes Sean gets so far in the weeds that it's like he's forgetting the simplicity of like, these guys are young and they just need to do simple things. And it's almost like he gets too tricky for his own good a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And it feels like that's hurt our offensive production. But when that time will come, when Pat Bryant is seasoned, when Troy Franklin's more seasoned, when that you got running backs in the system for a little longer, like then once everybody kind of figures out the exact, RPM that you need to be on, like that's when it's really going to go crazy. I honestly do feel like that. You have the talent, you have like the good mentality of the team, especially on offense, but you just need to get everybody on the exact same rhythm. And right now we're still a little bit off, but we're still good enough to get you wins. And I'm again, Houston's 3-4, but that's a good football team.
Really good football team.
And
no doubt. Really good football
like
team.
You can't, we're getting to the point now where it's like, if we don't win the game, we're getting frustrated, but it's like, I guarantee you, I don't remember, but I guarantee you before the season started and we were going through the list of like, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win. I bet you on the road in Houston, 11 o'clock game, that's a loss. And they figured it out. And yeah, CJ Stroud going down definitely helped.
Yeah.
But Davis Mills isn't like the worst player in the world. Like he had pretty decent stats and he used to be their starter for 2 years. So it's not like he's trash or anything like that. And
I think him getting hurt like changed the Broncos' offensive philosophy a lot too.
Yes,
like we got a lot more conservative because I felt like we thought, okay, you just got to stay within striking distance. Eventually, the defense is going to figure it out, which I don't necessarily hate. I mean, obviously, when it works out, you're like really smart. But a lot of it is like, dude, I don't care who the quarterback on the team is. Like, you got to go in there with your mentality, because it seemed like their game plan, surprisingly, was to be very aggressive. Even when the running the ball early was working, like Sean wanted to push the ball down the field. A lot of guys were actually open, so they saw something. Yeah. But that's what I was surprised with, because I was like, I don't know if this is the defense that you want to, test down the field. But I mean, looks like we wanted to, and then we became really conservative once the quarterback change happened. But yeah, Davis Mills is definitely like a really solid backup. And really solid backups are typically always better when they just come into a game rather than preparing.
Yeah.
Like,
that is weird.
It's the weirdest thing, but I just feel like they're just going in there and they're just like, all right, like no pressure on me. But when they have the whole week to prepare, they're like thinking about a million different things, Yeah. I feel like you see that all the time.
Yeah. It's almost like this is my shot. So I got to, and then they just, don't do as much. Yeah. He played pretty good. And, our defense was definitely bend, don't break a little bit too much. But again, it goes back to the field position. We made it way too easy for them just to get field goals. their freaking kicker was like barely making them. So frustrating. You're like, that's a miss. No,
I know.
my gosh, that
I know.
wasn't. That went in.
Yeah.
But we got lucky on one. That first one in the game, that was definitely fortunate. Now we blew a couple, like we gave them one by getting it blocked, and then we gave them another one by Bandy, not fielding a punt. But it's that, like, the defense locked in when they had to. Zach Allen and, like you said, Talanoa Hufanga, like those two guys today were elite, and we needed people to step up on defense. The cornerbacks were good. I felt like early in the game they were playing a little too far off. I would almost rather like play press and play a little tighter until they beat you, and then kind of you could back off a little bit. I don't like starting way off because it's just like way too easy for them to get. And once they get into a rhythm, now it's going to be even harder for them to. So it's like press up a little earlier, but all's well that ends well. They played pretty good. Riley played really good, I thought. And no flags. I like that PS2 said he's being racially profiled on his podcast. It's like, good. It wasn't just me. Oh yeah.
Oh, he said that about Riley. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, see, I said that too, but it's a little bit different coming from you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But like, I thought he played really well. I don't want to talk about officiating that much, but like the officiating was trash.
I actually thought it wasn't that bad today.
Oh, dude, I could have. There were so many little ones.
Like what?
Okay, just to start off the game, maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like Cortland caught that first pass of the game, and they marked it as a catch, but then they took it away. And I'm like, wait, what? And I don't think it was worthy enough of a challenge, so they didn't challenge it. But he looked like he caught that ball to me. That's one. Mm-hmm. There was one where they punted it, or we fielded it off of a kickoff in the end zone, and they said like, oh no, never mind. After they had already put it at the 35, they brought it back to the 20. And then they go, well, let's look at the replay. And then the replay clearly showed he was in the end zone. And I was like, so you're saying, unless I don't know the rule, maybe you have to establish both feet if you go out and then back. That's crazy to me. Like,
no, even if his toe is on the white line, it goes to the 20.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I always look at the reaction of like the players or the coaches, and the fact that they weren't really like fighting it or discussing it that much made it seem like maybe they saw something else.
Maybe that's
I don't know.
Because
same thing with the Cortland catch too. Like he didn't really seem to like be adamant that he caught it. So it was a little bit weird. But yeah, the kickoff one was really weird. That one, man, actually made a really big difference because we end up getting the pass to Bidet that goes for like 15 yards. Yep. Then you're at midfield. Versus we ended up punting on that drive anyways. Yep. So,
but the 35 is much different than the 20 for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But it was strange, but it might've been one of those things where, either, it's not worth challenging. Cause if the only angles that they had were the ones we got, it's like, you can't really see their toe.
Oh, but that one was clear. They froze it on the broadcast, and both of the announcers, Johnson and the other guy, were like, they just shut up. They just were like,
well, and the weird thing is they changed it. They called it to the 35 originally. Yeah. Right. I don't know. That was strange.
So I was like, that's screwing us. I just felt like there were some throws where they got to us early, and I don't feel like we do a good enough job complaining about pass interference calls. If they put like armbar us early before we're trying to make a catch, they're so focused on trying to make the catch that they don't complain unless they get pulled. That's an art, by the way, like knowing when and where to be like that. I got it first. I got interfered with, and we don't do a lot of complaining, and I think it hurts us. But there was a lot of calls that I was like, the CJ Stroud one that they picked up was fine because it was a violent play, I guess, but like they got it right. There was that I'm fine that they called this, but like this is a matter of they called a roughing or a personal foul, hitting him out of bounds, where he just kind of gave him a little bit of a nudge. And I'm like,
that was really the one that I was like,
that's so ticky tack.
Yeah.
It just, it seems to always just go one way. And I'm just like, knock it off. Now for Boney, like in my opinion, it's like, don't do that, dude. There's no need for it. So just don't do it.
Yeah. Like don't make it a call.
We hurt ourselves so much, but again, I'll go back and watch. And I'll bring up more. There was a lot though that I felt like they could have it was like this or that, and it just goes the other way all the time, and I'm just like, so frustrating, but it's fun.
I felt like, and you could be right, I felt like this one was actually a decently refereed game overall. There was also not a lot of like situations that you're putting him in like awkward places, but I feel like they did much better, at least in the previous like 8 games or whatever. I mean where it was like it was horrendous. But yeah, massive win, man.
Huge.
Unbelievable time to be a Bronco fan. Obviously, we got to root big time for the holy shit. Cam Little just made a 68-yarder, bro. NFL record.
Wow. That record, dude, that record stood for so long, and then now it's just like weekly it could be destroyed. You know what I mean? Like, it's only a matter of time for the Dallas kicker like beats that. So
my God, he made it by a lot too.
Yeah.
68 yards.
And here's the thing, you know, David's boy, Jeremy Crawshaw, he was blasting those in Houston, which is sea level. You don't want to hear any bull crap. At the end of the year, you're going to see averages and they're going to go, but he kicks at altitude. There was nothing altitude about today's kicks.
Dude, he had 2. I don't know where those bombs came from. I know we heard about him in training camp. You heard it. It was loud it was like boom. It sounded like a bomb went off. And that ball, and it was just like up in the air for God knows how long. And I was like, holy shit, it was a 72-yard kick, dude.
Now, the question is, you've been very adamant about you never draft the punter. Has that changed at all? Because this game, I honestly do feel like if this is a different game, if you don't have Jeremy Crawshaw, you probably would have lost this game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I thought he played a massive role. But no, you'll never be able to convince me because my thing is this. First of all, I should have never came to the point where like our punter is 70-yard kicks are the reason that the field possession changes. Now, the fact that it did was great, but it's also, my thing is like, you always can play the game of like, okay, can another punter have done that or been enough? Like, my thing is it's such a small times where your punter can actually like win you or lose you the game.
Yeah.
It's just hard to justify it with a pick. And the best punters in the NFL and the best kickers in the NFL, a majority of them are undrafted guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Now, and also like, Mark will come around. And another thing for me too is like, you can look at it and say, yeah, he's been phenomenal and you could justify it, but you could also look at it and say, bro, how would another player that's been playing really well in the NFL played for us? So it's hard to go back and forth, but I will say this. It's a much better kick. It's a much better pick than the Caleb Lohner pick.
Yeah.
That I will say. There's no doubt about it. But like, Jake Moody was a kicker that was taken in the 3rd round, which is obviously way different than being taken in the
Sebastian
in the 6th,
Janikowski was taken in the 1st round.
Yeah, that was a completely different time. But it's like you could look at Jake Moody and say that was terrible. It was awful, right? Because he's not even making the team. So, yeah.
Don't quit on Lohner. You don't know. Give him time. He's coming from basketball, dude. You got to give him time. Julius Thomas coming from basketball. Just give him time. You got to. That has not written itself yet. Don't give up on it. It's not looking necessarily instantly good, but like, don't give up on it. But no, I here's the thing. Typically, I would agree with you on the punter stuff because it's like, the averages are going to probably average out to 5 to 7 yards, whether you have a really good punter or fine punter. Yeah. But these are the games that you have to remember and be like, he freaking flipped the field when we couldn't do anything. And it totally changed the complexion of the way that they called plays and the way that they got off the field. And it was just like, our special teams was sinking. Like, our special teams was trash today. Like, they could not make, they couldn't get out of their own way. They couldn't make tackles. And he single-handedly with his foot, or single-footedly, like, was putting us in position to like make stops and get the ball back. And here's the thing. He's a rookie. We're 9 games in. But if you're doing this in 8 years for the Denver Broncos and you have 8 seasons of being clutch like this, yes, it's 100% worth it.
No
but,
doubt.
Riley
I will say like, it's really great that he's been so good for us. Obviously he had a really bad offseason,
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he's been able to turn around is like a big plus. I think for me, man, it's not even that like I want to hate on punters because I know that they're super important, just like kickers are. But it's like I don't want to root for punts.
No,
that was
of course.
another part of it. Like kicker, I get it. Do kickers win and lose games? I mean, 3 or 4 games a week all the time.
Oh yeah.
You can make the argument that, you know, because ours was blocked, so that's more special teams. But like Jaime Fairbairn lost the game for me. You can make the argument.
Yeah.
But my thing is like I never want to root to punt. Like, I can't wait to see Jeremy Crawshaw punt this ball.
No. Yeah, you're never.
But I'm certainly happy that it worked out. No doubt about it.
Well, you're never rooting to punt, but whether or not we always do that, we always go, it shouldn't have come down to that. It shouldn't have come down to this call. It shouldn't have come down to the fourth quarter. We could have. Yes, but it's freaking football. It's a game of inches. It's a game of this much. So like there's going to be games, no matter what, that are going to be flipped off of things like that, like off of your punter being a good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you never want to root for it, but that's why it's so important to have it. Like to have that insurance policy, if you're not playing good offense, is humongous. And if there's nothing better for a good defense to have a great punter, because you're not going to be able to get 40 yards consistently on our defense, even to get into field goal range. If they start at the 40, they can maybe get 25 yards. But if they start at the 10 or whatever, they're not going to get a field, you know what I mean? So that's why it's the complementary factor of it. And I'm just glad he's kind of settling down.
Totally.
You know?
No, he's been great, man, all year. And I'll make you guys this promise. I'll make you and David this promise. And I'm waiting for it because it's going to happen. We're going to call a fake punt one of these days. And it's either going to be successful because Crawshaw runs it or throws it. I've heard he can actually do both pretty decent. I mean, he seems like a pretty athletic guy.
Yeah.
So when that happens and we end up getting a fake punt and Crawshaw like throws a dime or takes off running and gets the first down, then you'll have me 100% sold. How about that?
That sounds good. That sounds fine. No, you can like believe it. I'm just saying it's just like it's easy to kind of minimize the role, but like again, there's gonna be games where you're just like, man, you know, and 6th round pick, I was with you at the time. I was like, wow, we couldn't have got him in the 7th. Like we had to go for the punter in the 6th.
Exactly.
That's how it felt. But today he proved
no, he was huge. I'm not gonna take it away from him. Like absolutely one of the MVPs of the game. He deserves a game ball. He was massive in today's game. And then you think about it again, right? To last year, you can make the argument easily that the reason you lost to the Bengals late in that game, there was a lot of things that factored into it. But our punter was awful that game.
Yes,
I felt like our punter was pretty good most of the year. He was really, really terrible, and he didn't flip the field. So. Yeah, and you make a great point, Duke. He is someone that could be on this team for the next decade plus.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then you're chilling. That's great. So, no, big shout out to Jeremy Crawshaw today. I thought he was awesome. Definitely. I thought Bo Nix really turned it up when he needed to. I thought J.K. Dobbins, every time you give him the ball, it seemed like he was just making plays. Pat Bryant, unbelievable today. I think we shouted out all the guys. Garrett Bowles.
Offensive line was pretty good, especially for running the football in their top 5 running defense. And J.K. Dobbins looked like he could do whatever he wanted. If I was frustrated that Sean got away from J.K. after the first drive, because I was like, do it until they stop it. That's how I always feel about anything. I don't care if it's a running back go, like whatever, like dive. If it's working, do it. Just do it until they stop it. I used to do that in Madden all the time. I'm like, dude, okay,
I'll still do it.
I'll take it. Yeah, exactly. Like it's insane to me if you don't. And it's just like, okay, you have to prove to me that you're going to stop it. I feel like Sean tries to get smarter than that. And it's just like, bro, if JK is running, just feed him. I don't give a crap if it's 30 times in a row. Like if he's willing and able, just keep doing it. But there was that drive when he broke off 8 and then we ran it again and we got 1 and then we ran it again and it was 4th and inches. So it was like, all right. So, I mean, I was proud that he actually did run it 3 straight times, because if he would have thrown it on 3rd and 1 and didn't get it, people would have been out of their minds and said like,
well, and then he calls a freaking, what is it when the wide receiver takes the handoff? I always forget the name of it.
Like a jet sweep or a sweep.
He runs a jet sweep to Franklin, and it was a terrible play call. It ended up working out.
Yeah, no.
But that's the thing is like I hated that play call, but he got it, so shit, we move on.
Yep.
So yeah, there's so many layers, but man, we've been pushing up against an hour, so I think we'll wrap it up here.
We got a lot more to talk about tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, man. Myself, Jeremy, David Talks Broncos, and Kodiak, Horsepower Hour, 8 p.m. Mountain. Be sure to tune in. We're gonna have a really fun episode. I'll probably have to pull out the cowboy hat again, because we beat another Texas team. And maybe it's my victory hat too.
Tease. Yeah.
But man, before we wrap it up, any words to Broncos Nation? Anything that you're working on your channel, or maybe just a message to the fan base right now?
Yeah, just my message. I probably won't be able to do the post game next week because it's Thursday night. I'm gonna actually be traveling from Las Vegas to Denver, and I won't get into like 10:30 or so. But so just look, we're 7-2. Like, take a step back, take a big breath, and just appreciate where we are in the world right now. It has been a long time when you can, like, it doesn't matter how pretty or ugly it is. It just matters that you're winning games and you're getting better. This is a tough football team, and 7-2, every single person, if you would have said to start the season, would you take a 7-2 start? Of course you would. You're like tied for first place now, I think, in AFC with the Colts, and you're a bad call away from being first. So, you know what I mean? So like 7-2, you got to love it. Still got stuff to clean up, but like, yeah, let's just appreciate it. Let's enjoy this victory week up until Thursday, and then let's go smash the Raiders.
Well said, man. Well said. Yep. Quick turnaround for the Raiders. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. It is a great time to be a, get that cleaned up. Oh, I just saw David's comment. But yeah, it's a great time to be a Bronco fan, man. We're number 2 right now in the conference with Indy losing. Half game back from them. Really should be flipped, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's enjoy this, man. And maybe we'll plan a separate stream or something like, Friday or Saturday or whenever as well. We can maybe always get on and talk about the post game, but enjoy your trip. Everybody in the chat, you guys have been dope. And yeah, go Broncos, baby.
Go Broncos, baby.
Peace.